Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Into the Void Happy Hour. I am Brad, your humble host, your bartender, your bouncer, and everything else. Thank you for being here, if you're here already. Hopefully, I have been incessantly testing audio today. Hopefully we're better. I've tried about 8 different things, some very silly, some very not, and I hope that the audio is clean for you on the other end, because when I tested it an hour ago with a very quick stream, about 3 or 4 minutes, it was fine. So, if it ain't there, let me know and I'll do a rain dance, I'll jump around, I'll try to get it on camera and do whatever else I can think of to try and fix that. But welcome. Today is the first day where I don't entirely talk about everything I've been doing over the past 2 weeks, but rather, when I talk about the music industry as a whole. I've been alluding to this for the past 2 weeks, that I wanted to do a full episode about this, and there's a lot to talk about because it warrants a full episode, more or less. And it does involve streaming. It has a little bit to do about Twitch. It has a lot to do about YouTube and DMCA and all that fun royalty-free nonsense. By the way, cheers to those of you that are here. If you're in the chat, say hi, tell me what you're drinking, tell me what you're gonna be drinking. If you're not drinking, just say something funny. I don't know. Thank you for being here. And we'll just kind of get underway. So, first of all, I am drinking, what is this? This is Juice Lovers from Other Half Brewing, which is a brewery based in Red Hook. They were founded in 2014, very heavy into like the New England style IPA scene. I am that kind of guy. It is who I am. I know what I'm about. It's fine. They also do a bunch of other stuff like sours and stouts that are just to die for. They're insane. They're a great brewery. They've been delivering to the tri-state area. So if you're in Pennsylvania, Connecticut, New Jersey, and obviously like upstate New York, you can get your beer delivered. I think there's like a 12-pack minimum or something like that, but it's available now, so get you some while you can. They don't sponsor me in any way yet. Emphasize the yet, but I'd be open to it. But they were founded in 2014 by just a bunch of guys who wanted to make really great beer that they wanted to drink, and in a workplace that they liked. So, you know, your classic story. What up, Rando? How you doing, buddy? Thanks for being here. Anyway, so without going too much into the beer, I do want to get started on this whole like talk about the music industry and kind of what the state of it is right now and where I think it's headed in the near future. Because I've been getting actually the people that have been in chat in the past couple of streams that I've had have actually asked me some questions about what I think about music, the state of the music industry right now, and what I think about where it's going and what I'm doing right now as a result of all this. And it is a big old topic. It's and it's kind of complicated. And the TLDR version of this is I believe that streaming and royalty-free music is the future of the music industry as a whole. One way or another, I think that is the future. I think that is. There are a lot of people that are starting to work towards that and how to make it, Cheers, buddy. Get you some good beer. Enjoy your homework. Thanks for listening to my voice while you're doing it. So, anyway, I really got to get used to, like, interacting with chat and then staying on the same topic, but, like, I do think that the future of the music industry is going to be streaming. And I just like a sort of a disclaimer to begin with. Some of this is going to sound like I'm hating on Twitch. I am not. Twitch has made some very bad decisions over the past 12 months that have kind of put them in the spotlight and on blast for this topic. And I'll get to that in a minute. But basically, so where the music industry is right now is nowhere. Unless you are in LA, a recording studio in Nashville, Tennessee, or one of the few lucky people that happens to be involved in that network, you do not have a job right now. Obviously, live performances are right out, and they will not be back. If I had to guess, even with things being more positive as of late, they will not be back for at least another 18 months, optimistically. Which is not great. It's kind of why I'm streaming right now, why I'm learning how to edit videos and stuff like that, because this may be this may lead to a viable alternative down the road. I'm not entirely confident in where this is going to go. So, with that in mind, I am waiting for my chat to catch up with my windows. Come on. Hang on. Let me... do something really quickly here. Ooh, Rheingeist Bubbles. Yeah, you real classy, man. Real classy. I'll have to send you some beer at some point in the near future. Get you off of that kick. Anyway, so back to the music industry. I am not confident as to when it's going to come back. None of us are. As far as the state of the music industry in New York City, it's very bleak right now. I am fortunate enough to have a gig next week. First one I've had in 6 months at the same venue as the last gig that I had 6 months ago. I'm excited for it. I'm really pumped to play live again. But the general trend for gigs around here now, they aren't live, they are recorded. There are people making there are tons of people making videos, covers. A bunch of producers that I've worked with have done this thing where they're now just creating video series, web series, putting on full shows while distanced. And if I were to venture a guess, I think the entire industry is going to trend in that direction overall. That brings me to the streaming aspect of it. So, basically, I'm going to start with Twitch, because they have kind of screwed this up and opened the door for a lot of really great things that if a few things happen the way I think they're going to, it's going to mean a lot of opportunity for a lot of musicians who aren't in that, like, echelon of superstardom. They're just people who want to make music for a living. And it can be very, very good, extremely good, really, for the music community as a whole. So with Twitch, I think everybody's kind of aware at this point that Twitch has made some really big mistakes and some really big faux pas with the DMCA issue. That is to say, copywritten music and strikes against their creators. Now, mistake number one came in the form of just how they handled DMCA music in the first place. Every streamer uses music. Very clearly, I've got music in the background. This is royalty-free music coming from Game Chops, which I just adore. But there are a ton of other services out there that are innovating how royalty-free music is created. So, what Twitch did, Twitch came into an issue that YouTube had about a decade ago. And that was, and YouTube was the first platform to really have it, because there was nothing quite like, you know, being able to play music and videos and content that you were creating. And it was owned by other people, obviously. Like, record labels own everything. But YouTube set an example for how to deal with it, and they basically just said, you can't do it. There was no broadcast license. They have since made, like, playlists of music that you can use. Some of it is, you know, some of it's actually fairly common pop music. It's stuff that they own the rights to, and you are allowed to use it as a streamer, as a content creator, which is really cool, but it's very limited. That was their solution, okay? Just don't do it, and eventually they gave us a little bit of things to work with. Twitch decided to deal with the DMCA issue by ignoring it entirely, just pretending it wasn't an issue, and they let it go for a very long time. Way too long, in fact. And within the past year, particularly because of the quarantine and because more and more people were streaming, and more and more people, especially this part, this is the big one, more and more people were viewing streamers, the record labels were pissed. because suddenly these songs are getting one play and 50,000 listeners. And that was no bueno, because they're not getting paid. Honestly, the record labels, for the most part, could give a shit if the artists are getting paid for it. They're specifically not getting paid. So they attacked Twitch. The RIAA, the Recording Industry Association of America, I believe is the specific name, lambasted Twitch. And it was a real big thing. Forbes did an article about it. A bunch of music industry editorials did massive columns about it, and it was an interesting read because Twitch handled it so poorly. Like, this is an Amazon property, and Amazon, for the most part, has their hand in the cookie jar of every single industry on the planet and does it fairly well for the most part. I mean, you can have your problems with Bezos and whatnot. They have done a lot of things that are very interesting and very convenient and very efficient. And at the end of the day, it's kind of surprising that when they own Twitch, they couldn't shell out the cash to do it the right way, or even the time, much less, like, forget about the cash for a second. They just didn't shell out the time of day to do it properly. And so what they did was create a series of things that were kind of operating in gray areas. One of which was to create their own royalty-free, so they said, royalty-free service. I forget what it was called, but it was terrible. It was an awful service. It was also not entirely safe, because basically what had happened was it was royalty-free for the most part, but some of it sort of slid through the cracks of ambiguity and wasn't safe for use by the RIAA and other record labels. And so the RIAA once again stepped in and started just getting super aggressive with DMCA strikes. They were throwing them out left and right for anything. If you played a clip of a song 5 years ago on Twitch in the background of a 10-minute stream, you were gonna get a strike for that. And then they even went so far as to push legislation that would make DMCA strikes a felony, punishable by like massive fines. And it wasn't gonna be Twitch paying these fines. It was going to be the content creators. So Twitch then acknowledged the problem and denied responsibility for it. They basically sent a nice thing to content creators and said, okay, here's the thing. We were taken entirely by surprise by this. It's a you problem. You can use our free service. It's safe. And they operated in this area of ambiguity that was kind of, sketchy, and it drove a lot of people from the platform. Enter companies like Streambeats. For those of you that don't know, Streambeats is an independent, privately owned music producer that operates under the business model of creating royalty-free music that anybody can use at any time, on any stream, on any platform. I use some of their things for my intros and my outros on my videos. I play them in the background sometime of streams. The music is very, very good, and they operate under this quality of, or this idea of, we are going to make quality music that people want to listen to off stream. And so far they're doing that. They've got a rock album coming out that they've been teasing for a month now. It should be coming out this week, actually. And from what I've heard, it's very, very good. It's high quality audio. It's good musicians. It's well written music, and it's stuff that I would listen to on my phone, on the train, at the gym, whatever, not just on stream. And that's really cool. The owner of this company is Harris Heller, who is a YouTuber, a Twitch streamer, formerly a musician. I mean, still is. He plays music and in some of these videos and whatnot. And he was a professional musician for some time, but his career took him towards the YouTube side of things. And eventually, to come back to his creative, music roots, he built this platform to solve a problem. And it's his platform that I think is going to be the model, if not the entire future of the music industry. And it's going to attack everything that's going on with the record label industry, the recording industry. It's going to either challenge them or change how we do things and operate as musicians. And I really do believe that should he take the steps I think he's leaning towards, and I have no reason to believe that he won't. He's a smart man, and I've liked his approach so far. Should he do a few things and other people copy that model, it will kind of take down record labels as we know them and sort of change the music industry. It'll shift it away from like the superstardom and sort of like even the playing field out. So everyone's going to take a little initial hit towards income, I think, which that whole spend money to make money thing, but I believe that it will honestly open up a bunch of major opportunities for a lot of people. And not just like the high-end superstars like Beyonce or whoever, you know? So basically what I think is going to happen is this. He's already acknowledged that Streambeats is raking in tons of cash a month just from individual streams. Like, they get somewhere like 1 million streams a day. And that comes from, the amount of people using it on Twitch, the amount of people just listening to it, YouTube, his Discord, like, he rakes in a ton of money off of just this one streaming service. And of course, right now he's dumping it all back in, which is a good thing, because he's mostly doing the financial investment up front, and I think that'll limit what everybody else has to sort of take the hit on later. Not entirely, but a little bit. So what I think is going to happen, he's building a recording studio, an entire content creation laboratory, somewhere, wherever he lives. But it is a multi-million-dollar studio. And from the looks of things, it's going to be beautiful. And this is where they're going to produce all the music. Now, he's already hired people to create music for the service. And I assume as as the presence of Streambeats grows, he's going to recruit more and more people. That employs people like me. It's when you take things and put it into the studio setting, it makes things a lot safer. Obviously, like, there is the live performance aspect that we're going to miss out on for now. But if they change how the recording industry does things, and if we move towards streaming, live performance may end up being a combination when things come back to life and the pandemic subsides in 18 months, 2 years, whatever it ends up being. It could end up being that we have concerts that are 50% live, maybe socially distanced, 50% live, and 50% streamed. And then there is some sort of functional, proportional divvy of the cash that is brought in from that stream. And I think it's very interesting, because at the end of the day, the recording industry is not kind to musicians. Like, this whole DMCA thing came about because the record labels wanted money. They didn't want it for their artists. Their artists may have seen cents on the dollar for those DMCA claims and whatever fines were associated with it, if any were at all. It's not about making money for the artists that make the music. It's about making money for the record label. And so if he is shifting this to make it more towards the artist side of things, which looks like he is, and I think he is, if he's moving it away from being owned entirely by the record labels, it could kill record labels and just open up the playing field. And it would be better for the artists. I don't know if that's what he's going to do, but this is what it looks like. And other streaming services are sort of jumping on board with this. There are other kind of larger, quote unquote, DMCA or royalty-free services that sort of are kind of pushing towards that direction as well. And if this gets enough of a following, it could be huge. The implications are massive for the future of the music industry. Now, what would have to happen? There are a couple of solutions. Twitch has tried to, they created sort of a, they created their streaming service, which was, not good. And their solution was, you could just use this, or, if it's not us, we can't guarantee you won't get a claim. But just don't use music or whatever. Not a good solution. YouTube has their small library of stuff. But I think to attack the DMCA thing, what needs to happen is there needs to be, especially if the streaming services like Spotify and iTunes, or I guess Apple Music, whatever, want to keep up, what needs to happen is there needs to be a broadcast license. And, the RIAA had they had a number of what they wanted streaming services to pay per stream and whatever, and it was an astronomical amount. It was, we're talking like tens of thousands of dollars for someone to stream for 8 hours, basically, and that's one person. And they were factoring it on number of listeners, and that's not gonna work. Like, it's just unreasonable. That you will not get a company on earth to pay that amount of money. So, for current music that's already been produced, that's already owned by record labels, the solution is a broadcast license that's maybe $30 a month for the streamer to use on a platform, okay, of their choosing. And that gives them their entire Spotify library. The revenue is monthly, and it goes directly to whoever is in charge there, which means, again, pennies on the dollar for the record label, but they get their money, they're happy, happy, joy, joy, whatever. I personally believe that there should be a broadcasting license that scales up based on viewership. Now, companies have average analytical data for every stream. I get it for YouTube on my small ass channel. People get it for every single channel that they have. They know how much viewership they have on average. The site knows it. It gives you that analytics data so that you can grow your stream. I think for broadcast licenses for music that already exists, it scales with the size of your viewership. So let's say, and these are hypothetical numbers, 10 to 100 viewers on average. You pay $20 a month for your broadcast license. You get to use your music. It works similar to Adobe stock. Maybe there are certain artists that can opt in or out of it, that kind of thing. But it opens up a library that you can use, should you not want to use these free services like StreamBeats. Again, why would you? Or why wouldn't you want to use them? Because they're free, and they're good. But we're talking just music that already exists, because these people still have to get paid too. For now. And then for, 100 to 200 viewers, something like that. Maybe you pay 30, and then 200 to 500, you pay 40. Whatever revenue that you're getting should be sort of reflected, and it's a business expense. You'd be able to write it off on your taxes. It's that kind of thing. And then everybody's happy for the time being. So that's solution one. Solution two. This comes in the form of things like StreamBeats. These companies start hiring more and more musicians based on the size of their capabilities. Okay, they're paying their people. They're paying their musicians. Maybe the biggest one, whatever streaming service like StreamBeats, or I can't even remember the others, but maybe the biggest of them tries to pull one major artist. Let's say, I don't know, Daft Punk. Hypothetical, but they just try to pull one major artist from their record company. They pay them a lump sum to record 20 tracks. Enough for an hour of a stream, okay? To mix in with a playlist of other, electronic music or something else, just a name that people can palate, that they can go, oh yeah, I know who that is. Let's hear what they have to offer. Someone who is tried and true, they already know what it is. You hire one person, get them on board, and then use that revenue to keep hiring more and more names and more people that are up and coming, and build your platform around them. Over time, as the industry grows, it will pull people away from the record labels, and that side of the industry will shrink and open up more to the side of the streamer. Which I think, honestly, it's a good thing. Right now, it's hard to see what the future is going to be for just any regular musicians. But the more that there is a demand for very good listenable royalty-free music, there are thousands of musicians in the New York City area that have the capability of recording tracks from their home and adding them to virtually anything. You know, I've tracked probably like 24 different songs over the past year in quarantine, okay? It's a doable thing, and it enables you to hire more people. And if you hire them under the royalty-free the royalty-free platform, if you hire them under that sort of umbrella, you will have to pay them a lump sum at first, but it still becomes gig work, and it becomes frequent gig work because people are constantly wanting more and more music, okay? If I have a playlist, this playlist that I have in the background, for example, has, I don't know, probably close to 40 songs, and I will have it play for several hours on end while I'm just doing work, while I'm editing videos, while I'm doing other things, and it will loop back around. I imagine at some point, these companies will get large enough that you can have eternally running playlists, the musicians get paid, and maybe for like the more popular playlists, then you can start to incorporate perks that are sort of in the same vein as royalties, but not sort of taxed the same way on content creators, okay? Content creators aren't really making that much money, or they're not making any money off of these things being streamed, okay? Yes, there are ads that show up during your stream on Twitch and on YouTube for monetized channels, but they're not making money off of the music. They're essentially using the music. So the person who finds the way to fairly pay as many musicians as possible to make music royalty-free is going to open up a floodgate. It's truly a billion-dollar idea, I think. And this may be like tinfoil hat area. I don't know. Maybe I've been stuck in quarantine for so long thinking about this stuff and thinking about the future of my industry that I have these massive delusions of grandeur, and to see the music industry and the streaming industry sort of intermix is a fantasy, maybe. I don't know. But I do know this. I do know that there is a potential here to put a lot of musicians that aren't, I guess, superstars. They aren't your Taylor Swifts. They aren't your, Greta Van Fleet. They're not your superstars. They're just the regular people that want to make music for a career, that are educated, competent, very good players. There is an opportunity to put them in a salaried space, because if you think about it too, you can take, you want to take it a step further. Maybe you hire a cast of musicians on salary to create for you throughout the course of the year. You hire them on a yearly basis, hire them on salaried positions, that one person is your writer, one person is your drummer, one person is your guitar player, and they get 40, 50K a year to just play music, okay? It's not far-fetched to think that a service like Streambeats, which is raking in $150,000 a month right now, and that's up from $30,000 in August, so you can imagine about where they'll be in June. Like, it's not far-fetched to think that the future of this industry is maybe, we'll still have Broadway, we'll still have, the bar gigs, we'll still have, eventually when all this comes back, we'll still have those things, but the largest portion of the industry is going to be these in-house musicians working for these royalty-free companies that get a salary every year just to create music. It's a bright future. The more I think about it, the more I think it can work. And like I said, maybe this is a tinfoil hat conspiracy on my part. I don't know. Maybe it's a delusion of grandeur, but I truly think that with as big of an industry as the streaming industry is, it's a whale of an industry. You look at YouTube, has an active monthly base of 2 billion people. Okay? You've got Twitch, which has an active monthly base of 37 million, roughly. Like, these are massive companies, or massive, well, they're companies, but platforms. Like I said, when you think about the exponential size of these companies, it's not far-fetched to think that eventually we could see salaried musicians performing royalty-free music. And then let's talk about how this translates to live again. These companies are hauling in revenue, and in exponential amounts too. Like I said, you start hiring people as your in-house, like that's going to cut into the profit. But we're talking, this could be, you know, multi-million up to like billion-dollar industry idea. Eventually, you'll be able to shell out the money to produce a physical concert that's massive and high production value, and it gets streamed. And when you combine the two factors, you get the live, you get people who pay for maybe a $10 ticket for the streaming privileges of it. Like, it would be so massive for the industry. Coffee while you got a behemoth of a spreadsheet. My condolences, Michael. My condolences. Appreciate you guys listening to my fever dream of the music industry, shall we say? I think that's a fitting assessment of it. But I don't know. I think it could be I think it could be a very, very bright future. We just have to kind of get through this what's right now feels like an eternity of darkness. Someone asked me in the comments yesterday. I was playing Among Us, so it was a really kind of almost sobering moment. And I had to try to like put on a smiley face because, you know, this is a performance in and of itself. That's why like doing this kind of thing is not out of my wheelhouse. It just feels like me performing in front of people with my instrument. Oh dear. Yeah. Don't say Basil Goose 3 times. It'll show up behind you and drop grenades on you. But yeah, somebody asked me in chat last night. It was something to the effect of like what I've been doing for like orchestra and the Broadway scene in New York, and I was basically like almost laughing when I said literally nothing. There's nothing right now. A remix of the current song or the last one, Rando? Yeah. So I don't know. I've been left with a lot of time to think about this sort of thing, and I'm hopeful, but we got to get through this weird bit first. So I don't know. That's a solid half an hour on the current and future state of the music industry. On a little bit of a lighter note, I've been kind of monitoring the metrics of this channel, and first of all, I think I've solved the audio issues. I haven't heard anybody complain about it yet, and if trend has held, we should be good, because I tested earlier and it should be fine now. I hope. Oh yeah, dude, a remix of the Basil Goose theme would be dope. It'd be terrifying, but it'd be dope, and I'm here for it. So let's put a pin in that, and maybe I can like suggest that to somebody, and we can make that happen, because that'd be really cool. But anyway, so I was streaming Among Us last night. I have not streamed Among Us. Which by the way, I forgot, one of the things that you need to do when you're streaming Among Us is find a way to block out the little code, the room code at the bottom of the screen, because we did end up at the very end of the night, we got people from my stream jumping into the Among Us game because as people were leaving, which, you know, kind of sucks for them because, well, we were leaving, but like, you know, it was still kind of strange because that was not something that I had expected to happen, especially when I have maybe like 10 viewers at any given time. But I was looking at the metrics for it. That Among Us game, for whatever reason, that stream did better than every single video that I've done to this point and outperformed all of my edited videos, and it had shitty audio. So people not only showed up to this thing, they stuck around. And it was Among Us of all things. So I don't know if that means I have to stream more of Among Us to get a better viewer base or whatever. It was strange, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. It was fun. Like, I had a blast. It was really cool working with the people from, the guys from Debate This and some of their other friends who play Among Us regularly. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. But it was weird to have people in chat who I didn't personally know, and that were like sticking around despite my audio issues. Like, that felt good. Whatever, man, it worked. I had viewers. They were talking in chat. It was a coherent chat. Like, it was chill. But, what can I say? Sometimes you gotta go with what works. But I mean, I'm not gonna stop streaming Apex because I enjoy the hell out of that. And I am still planning on doing the panel on Friday for Overwatch. I mean, we can make that happen. The thing is that we do have to have enough players to get it going, so hopefully I can convince some of the other people that we frequently play with to get in on that. The thing is, like, it ended up being really funny. And I think, it's easier content, I think, for people to get into, because it's easier for people, like, it's easier for the streamer to interact with his chat, or his or her chat. Like, because you don't have to focus so much. It's a fun little game, but it's also kind of a meme. And when a game is, that simple, it's just easier for you to juggle multiple things at once. Like, I have trouble still multitasking with this whole thing that I'm doing. Like, I'm trying to monitor, frame drop. I'm trying to monitor audio quality. which has been a pain in my ass. I'm trying to monitor all kinds of metrics at one given time, while also being relatively competent at a game that I am very much incompetent at. Looking at you, Apex. And, I'm still trial by fire in all of this. So, like, we're getting there. Don't get me wrong. But it's refreshing to have a simple game like Among Us to stream to, and then to also, like, interact with the community. But I will say, it was very, very exciting having, like, a handful of people who I just didn't know who they were. Like, yeah, it wasn't a lot of people, but, like, it was people I didn't know. They were interacting with me. It was nice. It was like an exciting moment of, like, hey, it's finally working at least a little bit. The algorithm has deemed me worthy today. And it certainly did, because not only did I have, like, 15 to 20 views going into that video, it got, like, another 15 to 20 outside in the past 24 hours. It's on track to pass up all of the videos that have been up for the past 3 weeks. So, like, it's not a big amount of difference, but it's an exciting little boost. Especially on days like today where I wake up and I'm exhausted because I was editing all day yesterday. Like, so, yeah, it's the little things right now. Let's see. I can consult the raid team. I mean, I'd be down to have them back. I'm sure we could get the Debate This boys in. I'm sure we could get any number of the people we normally interact with to do at least one game a week, or one game every 2 weeks, something like that, just to change up the meta, as it were. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, 98% of my content, well, 95, because excluding this particular weekly stream, 95% of my content is Apex right now. And I'd like to factor in more Overwatch. Hopefully BlizzCon gives us some good news on Friday. I should actually put out a video about my predictions beforehand, and I might do that if I've got time, because that's an easy one to do. But, like, I am not a video game guru that can get away with streaming one game. I'm never going to be good enough at Apex, Overwatch. whatever else ends up coming down the pipeline. I'm never going to be good enough at gaming to justify playing only one game. I might be able to get good enough to make a guide or two, but down the line, the COD group. I mean, sure, I don't mind having people that I don't know. 2 times movement speed meta, 15-second voting period. Ah, yes. Yes, okay, I see what you're going on. I don't know if you watched much of the stream from last night, but I played a couple of rounds where I just I fragged people in Among Us. Like, I went on a legitimate killing spree, and it was terrifying. And I'll say this too, there was a rush to that game. When you get in the zone as the imposter, there is a rush to be had, and it's a very similar rush to overtime in Overwatch, where you're like, oh god, this is it. It's like a very, very similar feeling, and it's kind of cool, and I'm here for it. But yeah, it was wild. But yeah, I do want to diversify the content over time. Right now, Apex is just easier because everybody's jumping on the Apex train because the game is as good as it's ever been, and widely received as such. And also, Overwatch has taken a dive into the dumpster recently. Oh, you were listening until the stream started? Right on, dude. Right on. I mean, I understand that. The fact that you're even listening to me in the background and still responding now while you got homework to do is I mean, I'm flattered. As my personal fragging partners, it's nice to have you guys in the chat and also doing work at the same time. So, much appreciated, boys. So, yeah. I mean, that's kind of the future of the channel, and I know I talk a little bit about that every stream. And hopefully I'll get to the point where I get into enough of a rhythm with this content that I can just go off on a topic for a full hour without having to, vamp a little bit about the current state of the channel and where this is going. But I miss the days when I was able to specifically talk about different albums. And I hope if this grows as a channel and the music industry changes in the ways that I was describing earlier, I hope I can get to a point where I can play Led Zeppelin on the channel, and I can talk about Led Zeppelin on the channel, because that shit is fun to talk about. That is really, really, really good, not just content, but it's good. It's just fun information. Talking about Zeppelin, and all of the crazy shit that John Bonham got into, and all the crazy shit that the band got into, and all the crazy shit that every band of the late 60s, 70s, and early 80s got into. That's fun. That's good it's not useful information by any means, but it's fun to learn about. It's fun to see how these people lived and created, and it's great to have the context of the music in the background. And I just hope one day that I can do that legally. I don't know though. As long as record companies reign supreme, I don't think that I will have that opportunity. But like I said, if things continue to trend the way that they have been with the music industry and what it looks like with streaming, who knows? Maybe one day. What is this? So many chapters per week. What's really funny is that my chat is showing up in the live stream before it shows up on my little chat panel, and that is infuriating, and I don't know if there's anything I can do to fix that, because that is a communication between YouTube and OBS, and if I've learned anything over the past 2 weeks, it's that they don't have the best relationship. Not contractually, but as of late, I think that my audio issues have exclusively been in the communication between the two. We will see tonight if that continues to be an issue. As we start to approach the final 10 to 15 minutes of the stream, I do want to say I will be streaming again later about 9 o'clock. We'll be back with some Apex, and some of y'all that are in chat will probably be joining me. If anybody else is here, just say hi while you can. And feel free to tune in, because it's gonna be It's going to be equal parts test stream to make sure that my audio is truly fixed, and equal parts I haven't played Apex in 4 days, and I need to shake the rust off. So watch me get blown across Kings Canyon. Should make for this stream is exclusively going to be called catching up on content, because the last 4 days I have dipped sincerely behind and need to make videos this week. So, yay. You know, we'll see what happens. But we have until I finish this beer before I end stream. So, if you are new to the channel, oh, it's Steve. Hey, Steve, welcome to. Thanks for being here, buddy. Thanks for checking out the stream. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button while you're here. If you like what you're seeing, I do all kinds of stuff all week. I release videos at least every Tuesday. I've been releasing short videos on Wednesdays. I don't know if I'm gonna have one for tomorrow because I did not get around to editing today because I've been trying to solve my shitty audio issues. But big videos every Tuesday, probably every Friday or Saturday at the very least, and then live streams 3 to 4 times a week, but absolutely every Tuesday at 6 p.m. for happy hour. Yes, Michael. Yes. Didn't sound right on my end either, but it's fine. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, hit that sub button. Hit a like this video while it's live. It helps the algorithm show this video to other people. And I'm starting to win the algorithm's favor by my frequency of posting. So like, let's keep that train rolling because your boy needs viewers. So yeah, just help me out if you can, if you haven't already. Everything is appreciated. Honestly, interacting with the content is the best thing that you can do for this channel right now, and it helps me make better content. That being said, I do take suggestions. I do take criticism. I don't get too offended, I promise. So if you personally know me and you're in the chat, shoot me a message after this. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. If the audio was good, if the audio was dog shit, whatever, let me know. Because again, and I can't harp on this enough, I've been trying to fix the audio issues that just suddenly popped up last week, and I think we finally got there. I think, fingers crossed. You know, like I said, if it doesn't work this time, I will do a rain dance in the middle of New York City for all to see, and I will stream that and hope that the audio works. And don't just tell me that the audio's bad so that I do that. Because I have the VOD, I'll know. But anyway. We're at the 50-minute mark. I am going to start winding the stream down. I've got a little bit of beer left. Once again, I am drinking beer from other Half Brewers in Red Hook. New York-based, one of the first breweries in New York to sort of start down the path of the whole New England-style IPA thing that, depending on who you are, you either love it or hate it. And, you know, if you hate it, it's okay to be wrong, but don't at me. It's fine. But yeah, founded in 2014. A couple of really cool dudes just wanting to make beer and enjoy their workspace a little bit more. I have had beer with their head brewer. Dude's awesome. Like I said, I am not sponsored by the brewery at all. I am open to it. So if you guys are watching, like, hit me up. We ain't a big channel yet, but we'll get there. I am committed to the bit at this point. The glassware is courtesy of Kiever Glass in New England, and you should check them out. Support local artists, because the dude's he's phenomenal. Like, he does all of these prints, brand new print every month, and they're all just stellar. Like, go get you some awesome beer glasses. They're can-style glasses, so, like, you know, all of my fun little pitches. Oh, what do you know? I just got word that one of my solutions to my audio problem may have been delivered, so I am going to probably end this stream a few minutes early and start to work on that as a permanent fix. But, yeah. If you're lurking in chat and you haven't said hi already, please do before I call it off. But, I think at the 50-minute mark, we're at a good cadence here. So, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you didn't catch the full stream, the VOD will be up live on my channel. And assuming that the audio is not bad, I will leave it up permanently. You could catch the rest of it. Any interaction with it from here on out just helps the stream more. So, yeah. I want to thank you guys for being here once again. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, say hi. I will be back later tonight for some video game streams. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your night. Cheers.